All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. I am Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Boy, where do I begin, right? I'm glad that Marlon opened this up because this is a tough one, another tough one, but in the different direction. Why don't we jump to them and see where we're at right now? Let's look at that corn market. Corn is down 37 1/4 cents in that March contract, 6.57 3/4 this last. Maize off 35 cents to 6.55 1/4. You know, when you're on the train and you hear the conductor turn the train around and he says all change, it kind of feels like that today. All change. We're back in the other direction. How about soybeans? This one also, after having been 80 cents higher yesterday and closing lower, we're lower again here today with that March contract off 64.5 cents, 15.97. These are such big numbers. 15.97 last in that March contract. May 63 1/4 cents lower at 15.90 3/4. I'll go back up and take a quick peek and see where I didn't talk about new crop Ds. Look at that, 26 1/4 cents. We lost that 6 handle. We're at 578.5. So that's something to keep an eye on. Why don't we take a look at soybeans, Nov 22 beans? That's another one we want to take a look at. That's down another 2.5% today. That's over 5% in 2 days, folks. That's pretty big going. 14.14 is last in that new crop Nov soybeans. Let's take a look at Chicago wheat. This doesn't get any better, I'm afraid. Wheat market off 76 cents here in that March contract to 8.50. That's low. 8.59 3/4 is the low in May. 75 cents lower. So that looks pretty rough as we speak right here. All right, moving over to the hard red wheat in Kansas City. See, where do we begin? 884 and a half is March, off 78.5 cents. May's off 75 cents, 891, and 72.5 cents lower in that July at 883 3/4. Spring wheat in Minneapolis, 72 cents lower in the March. Looks like 60 might be the limits there. 60 cents lower in May at 9.60 1/4, and July also at 9.53 1/4. Well, we've just come off the July 9.54 3/4. So look, it's just, all change, and this is hard. And really, this is all lower because Russia came out and said that they're willing maybe to have some talks. They told the Chinese that they're willing to have some talks and maybe see if we can put this thing to an end. And that's why you've seen such a violent reaction in the other way from all of these things. How about cotton? What's going on there? Cotton off 197 points in March, but that's really not where the action is. It's really in the May. May is $1.59 lower at 117.57, as well as July being off $1.71 at 114.51. That's also some pretty tough stuff. So we didn't really have anything decent there. Maybe Joe Lardy has got something decent for us. Joe's with CHS. Joe, what do you think?
Well, we're in unprecedented times, right? And so the markets are going to do things that are basically impossible to predict most of the time. And what I have found interesting is if you look at the charts of where things are, so take March beans, for example, here at 15.98, we're pretty much where we closed last Friday. You know, the last trade on Friday was 16.01. We're right in line. So we've taken a week's worth of historical news. You know, war breaking out in Europe, and we're where we were on Friday. You know, and certainly these markets have gone up substantially. They've gone down substantially, but we're kind of back to where we started a little bit. So I think people should take away from this that, you know, all this activity that's happened, hopefully they've come out of this okay. And I think this gives us another lesson, too, that we need to be really in tune with the markets. And if there's levels that you want to trade, make sure you have your orders in. And if there are levels that are going to cause you and your operation, you know, your family, your business, too much pain, make sure you're getting out of the market because we have volatility. We are in a time of extreme volatility. So, you know, manage your positions as best you can.
Great advice. Really appreciate it. That's Joe Lardy with CHS. We're going to bring it back to Nashville so we can take a quick break and come back to talk livestock after this.